All right, guys, we're going to be doing order of operations practice again today. So if you guys remember, we talked yesterday about PEMDAS, and that's how we help us to remember the order in which we do our operations when we have multiple operations in one problem. So the P stands for parentheses, the E is for our exponents, then M and D are on the same tier, multiply or divide, and we do whichever one comes first from left to right. Same thing with addition and subtraction. We do whatever first on the left, and they're on the same tier. Okay. All right. So let's all start with problem number 1. We're going to take a look at number 1. It says 8 plus 16 divided by 4 times 5 minus 3. Okay. Using the order of operations, the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to do our division. And the reason we're going to do that is because it's what comes first from left to right. So there's no parentheses, there's no exponents. So now we're looking at multiply or divide, and I see that divide first. Okay, so we're going to do 16 divided by 4. 16 divided by 4 gives us a 4, and you're still going to copy down all of your other pieces because we're going to show every single step of our work. So we have 8 plus 4 times 5 minus 3. Okay, so using order of operations, we did our division. Now we're going to do our multiplication, which is 4 times 5. So now we have 20. So 8 plus 20 minus 3. Okay, now we look at our last tier there, and we've got to decide, are we going to add or are we going to subtract first? And looking at our problem going from left to right, we're going to do our addition. So we have 8 plus 20. That gives us our 28. Last step is to subtract 3. So we have our final answer of 25. Okay, all right, let's skip on down. We're going to do number 6 together because number 6 is a question that has multiple parentheses in it. It's got multiple groupings. Anytime that you are in a grouping, you start with the order of operations. Okay, so for example, this one says 6 plus parentheses, 1 plus parentheses, 4 plus 9, and then they close the parentheses. Okay. We've got a parentheses within a parentheses. So that tells us to do this piece first. Okay, so our order of operations, we've got parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division, and then addition and subtraction. So starting within our parentheses, we're going to do the parentheses. So 4 plus 9 gives us a 13. Now, some people forget their parentheses at this point, but if you look, we haven't done the outer parentheses yet, so we have to keep those. So we're still on the parentheses step. And we have 1 plus 13. So 6 plus 14 is where we're at now. We get our final answer of 20 because we can just add. Okay. All right. Let's skip on down to question 21. 21 has a little bit of everything in it. It's got a lot of multiple steps in it. So again, our order of operations are parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division, and then addition and subtraction. And so we've got our multiple steps here. We're still going to start with our parentheses. Okay, so our first step is 29 minus 6. 29 minus 6 gives us a 23. So we're going to carry down all the other steps and replace that with a 23. So we have 12 divided by 2 squared times 23. Okay, so we've done our parentheses. The next step is our exponents, and we have 2 squared. 2 squared, if we expanded it out, would be 2 times 2. So we're going to replace that with a 4. So now we have 12 divided by 4 times 23. Okay, all right, so we did our parentheses, we did our exponents. Now we're looking at multiplication or division, and we said whichever one comes first from left to right. So if we're working across our problem, the division is what's coming first. So we're going to divide. 12 divided by 4 is 3. And so now we have 3 times 23 as our last step. 3 times 23 gives us 69 as our final answer. Okay. Now, you guys are going to work out all of the other ones on your own using these same exact skills and just submit all of your work when you are finished.